I like I like music because music is simple to do. Like I'm trying to formalize my music theory knowledge recently, and I'm coming up. I just came up with a great revelation. Like I'm trying to think like what are my accented measures, what are my non-accented measures, because I always can like do a melody, but I sometimes struggle with like the rhythm. I'm like, what do I do here? Do I just do the same thing over and over again? And just a second ago, I was like, huh. Well, let's just play one chord, and let's just do like the typical like period. And I was like, okay. Well. And then Joseph Riepel has something where he categorizes melodies into four stylistic characters: the Rauschen, which is the like repeated notes at the opening, the singen, which is like a cantabile. It's kind of like the cantabile. It's kind of like the cantabile. And what it is, it's supposed to be like sung notes, which it sounds like they're sung. So lots of long held out notes. So it sounds like that, but Joseph Riepel also adds like he says you should also have like a leaper. You should add a leaper, which is like a lot of jumps in a melody. And there's also a laufen, which is you like do a run like that. It's just running a lot, like scale degrees. And he says you should do these like the sing-in. So he says that you should open like with the Russian like that, and then you should go to like a sing-in melody. And then he says you should add some leaps in there for variety. Of course, this is not a particularly good melody. And then he also has this concept of like dead bars versus alive bars, which is like there are some bars which have a lot of movement, like like every beat is highlighted. And then you have some that's the awake bars. Then there's the dead bars that are like that kind of like don't really move. And yeah, so singing obviously a very dead bar. Very live. I heard that he thinks that you should have like a very dead bar followed by an alive bar, so something like something like that. And yeah, and then also there's a famous thing that most music theories actually want to study, which is the Fonte, Ponte, and Monte. I think Fonte is going downward. Monte is like a mountain that goes upwards, and Ponte is like it keeps you on the dominant degree. And that's I personally my favorite one is of course the Monte. So that's when it's about key changes. So imagine you're in C major Monty. This is a Monty. So yeah, that's a Monty, and this is a Fonty. And it can technically go to any key. As long as it's staying in that dominant, this is a Ponty, which is a bridge. And it doesn't just have to be like the 2 of your key going down to the 1. So I think he says that the Fonty is like, it usually is a 5 and 2 to then to the 2, and then 5 of 1 to 1. And then the Monty is the 5 of the 4 to 4, 5 of the 5 to 5. And then the Ponty is just the dominant. And then it can resolve to the 1, but just generally it's just staying in that dominant space. So yeah. And also he has this fun thing where he categorizes like keys into like masculine, feminine, where like all the major keys are masculine, all the minor keys are feminine, and he says that like 5, like you have 1, that's the most important, 5 is the second most important, you have 6 is the third most important, and then probably 2 is next, and then you have like 3. I think 4 is also pretty important in there. I don't know. It's like he makes some suggestions. Something like that. You just have to listen to more Baroque music to honestly, but like that's what he said. And what am I getting at? Well, I really just realized like my rhythm as on piano is probably gonna emphasize what I see as the like, not the Monty, Fonty, and Ponty, but like the dead bar and the awake bar. Like, is my melody alive? Is it awake? Like, what am I using it as? And I'm like, okay, well, I know that he says that like a Laufend is like a transition when your melodies. Yeah, I should also talk about the 4 key melodies. So this. Like whenever he does like stuff or whatever, he's talking about these very basic transitions with the 5s. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. I'm thinking like maybe I just need to highlight the rhythmic characteristics and what I see as the like overall phrasing of the measure. So like if I'm doing a transition, with those Laufends, you'll know because I'll start doing this. What if I'm like doing a singing melody? Well, if it depends like where am I at this melody? Am I at the height? Am I at the start? What kind of feeling am I going for? Like, am I going for like a period where it's kind of like you just have, because then combining that with the idea of period versus sentence phrase, then you have like all you have to do is just. So what if I want? So a period phrase is when the antecedent ends on the 5 in a half cadence, and then the consequent, the answer ends on the, that's for balance, ends on the one, ends on tonic. And then in a sentence, you have call and response. For you have two bars, like, which is call and response. So you're like, and then you have like a four measure phrase that's kind of like longer and it's faster, which is a sentence. That's, yeah. That's kind of like the sentence phrase. That's more for momentum. So like now like translate that, like, okay, am I doing a period where it's kind of more balanced, or am I doing like a sentence where it's like a little bit less balanced? And it's like, oh, it's a little bit more on the faster side of sentence. So if I was doing a sentence, I'd be like, because it's really build momentum. And then if I'm doing a period, that's a little bit more like equilibrium. I would try to think like a, make it a little bit more balanced, a little bit more poised, rhythmically equal. And then we like then now I'm thinking like, okay, well, I got a period. And then I could follow it up with like a sentence. It's like a, and then Koch was like, you can actually repeat these things, guys. You can actually repeat these things. Got Wilhelm Koch or something. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. But when it comes down to formal things, theories of formality. I want to create like my own. I want to create like my own functions, my own forms, like my own little versions of equal 8-bar melodies. Like, what if I want to end on the 6, or what if I want to end on a Scriabin chord? You know, like, what do I call that? What if I had my own little form? Like, what if things were all going swell? What if I was like, oh. What if things were all going swell? But I want to just go straight into a Scriabin. Just because I want to. I'll tell you, like, one of my favorite things to do is to make up my own forms. I'm just like, it'll be fun. Like, what if I had like a 3-bar call and response that was like 3 bars of establishing something. Like, here's a call. Okay, let's just pretend this is quarter note beat. And then we have like a response. So that makes 6, call and response. Then we do like that's sentence structure again. I know. I'm just trying to like make up my own structure. It's really weird though. How do you do this? I have to go on a lot of tangents, so I guess there'd have to be like several melodies in mind. It'd be like the first one is a motif, like a. I have to go like motif by motif, like. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. I'll make my own formal functions. What if I took like a rondo and I just did like a rondo, except it was like a melody version of like a bar by bar version of a rondo, where it's like. You see what I'm saying? Where it's like here you have this. It's the same idea, just repeated with different chords. So it's kind of like a theme and variations on one motif, only in one bar. Wait, but you'd have to do it like that creates like a very like pompous feeling, right? Because if it depends on the harmonic structure of the bar, right? Like if you have like a. So that's like, so then if you were to do like a rondo, or it's like you're just doing the same damn thing. Then you have to be aware of like the phrasing in the bar. So then in the next one you'd have to be like, you'd like. Oh, interesting. This is very interesting. Like. Yeah, you can just look at a bunch of forms like ternary, binary, rondo, and I guess you could turn that into like different formal structures maybe and see what they do. Because I would prefer like a theme and variations kind of thing, where it's like maybe in a melody you're given one thing and then you end up like going off on it. You could do like a. You see how this thing falls down the arpeggio? And then you do the reverse of that. do, 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 do. And then the next one, you do the same idea on a different arpeggio. Then you do like you don't do that same response. Now instead you like take the pitches, and you're like, well, actually I should do the pitches in reverse. So then you're like, so this is a tritone fall. Oh, and that actually makes the Scriabin chord, or the French augmented six. If I did this, oh, that'd be great. Actually, that perfectly fits some of my favorite harmonic schemas, where it's like a. Oh, I love that. I love that. This is very cool. So yeah, inventing your own formal structures and then adding some harmony things. I like that. Theme and variations. Theme and variations on 3 notes. This is the theme. This is the variation. This is variation 2. This is variation 3. It's theme and variations. What does that say to me? Well, to me, it's like you're actually like expanding upon one initial idea by telling me every possible interpretation of it. So it's like I'm telling you like. So that's perfect for someone like me who likes to ramble a lot and talks a lot about the same topic but from different angles. So I like that. I like that. You could also make it like a 2-bar thing, like, you know. So that's like a theme and variations form, I guess, where it's kind of like a rambling. It's kind of like a rambling or something. I mean, of course, like actual rambling would be like. See, that's rambling, where it's like it just goes from topic to topic seamlessly. But for me, I'm more of a person who doesn't really go topic to topic seamlessly. I just talk about the same topic in different ways. See, it's a grammar, it's a sentence, it's a structure, it's like a paragraph. So if that's kind of like expanding upon the same topic, then what is regular period and sentence form then? What is something like this? there's that period thing initially. I feel like I feel like that's one long sentence. That's just a long sentence. That's just a very long sentence. What is a rondo then? What the hell is a rondo? Where it's like a... And then it's like, oh, well, now we're gonna do the major. And then we go back to the original. What the hell is... Like, what if you translated rondo into here? Well, in rondo you have like an initial theme, and then you have like another thing, and then you have like another, then you have the initial theme again, or... If it's like very it's like that's like straight up call and response, like just back and forth, so like a... That's just like call and response. So there are different like formal things you can do and invent. And honestly, you just have to like read